Looking at some articles about this food bank. They got this local food bank, and this is an article from today. The rising gas prices take a toll on the local food banks trying to feed more in need. See, this is from the 14th of March. And what they said was it takes, look at this, you all, look what it takes. The Harry Chapin Food Bank has a fleet of 20 trucks, and each truck costs over $1,000 to fill up right now. So it's eating into their budget. As diesel fuel nears $5 a gallon, dozens of big rigs used to deliver and haul food are guzzling the gas. So a dollar increase in fuel prices cost this food bank $3,500 more a month, and they got a fleet of 20 buses. So that's going to affect the food banks too. Could you imagine, with diesel being like $5 right now, what if it goes to $10? They won't be able to have all their trucks up and going. And then what is everybody else going to do with the rising price of gas? Okay, the rising price of food and other necessities. It's going to really start affecting us. It is. They haven't risen really a lot right now. That's even if you can find the food that you want at the store. When you go to the store, sometimes you can't even find what you're looking for. You can't at all. And then when you do, you find out the price is almost doubled practically, or it's risen like 25 more cents or $1 more and stuff like that, or you're having limited quantities. There are a lot of people who are on limited income, limited budgets. Okay, and if you're commenting, let me tell you what, they don't got no comments coming on here whatsoever. Not any comments for some strange reason, but that's okay. I'm still going to talk, you all. I can sit here and talk to myself. I sure can. So that's what I'm wondering. How is everybody going to weather it? You know, in times like these, I know that people have to make that tough decision, especially when you're older and you're on the limited income, or you're younger and you're on a limited income. You've got to make drastic changes, and you got to make decisions. Well, do I buy this medicine? Do I pay my electric, or do I buy food? You have to give up something in order to make it with all the rising costs, because it's not just food that's affected. It's not. Your utilities go up. Your gas goes up. I don't know if your car insurance and stuff like that. Who can afford to just afford the basic necessities? And you know, when I was at the store the other day, I saw a little thing of Infamil. My daughter used to drink Infamil, and I think it was like 48 or $35 for a little can for babies. I'm sitting there thinking, what would happen to the babies? Okay, the little babies, and you don't got money to buy your baby food or your milk for your baby. See, this is going to have a widespread effect. I remember looking at the food chain reaction game that they did with Cargill back during President Obama administration, and they had everybody at the White House, and they predicted during a certain time span that food inflation would get up to like 400%. So I thought, 400%. If a gallon of milk costs around 3 something a gallon, if you were to make it, 400%, that gallon of milk, it costs around $12 a gallon for a gallon of milk. Could you imagine? And there's a lot of people that like to drink a lot of milk. Hello, everyone. Yeah. Your like bottom is not showing either. That's okay. I think I might be being you know what, but I'm not going to say it. I'm going to be optimistic. Okay, I am. I'm going to be optimistic on here. I'm not going to draw attention to it. I'm going to talk about it. You all, I am. So it is. It's already hitting people. It's hitting people right now who are barely getting by themselves. They're having to make those tough decisions. They're having to cut down on food. I remember when I first got married, my husband didn't make very much. He was an E3 in the military, and he just so happened to buy this Mustang right when we got married, right before we got married. And I thought, I had a car, and my car was already paid for. That was like $360 some odd a month, and I think he only got $700. And then we had a a apartment payment of 500 and something. Uh, that was for the apartment in Monterey, California, because he went to the Presidio of Monterey. So if he got like 700 a paycheck, if even that, I don't know what it was. We were barely scrimping, because then you had to pay high car insurance. Okay, and I remember being pregnant, and we didn't have enough money to buy food. All we had like a little bit of money left in our checking account, and it would get down below like $18 to last us until his next paycheck. And I remember having to open up, and you've done it too, open up a can of um, green beans, or you survived on ramen. You did what you had to do. Okay, you didn't have all that nice food that some other people might have had. You just ate the basics, okay, and you made it work. See, that's what a lot of people are having to do now. And there may be some people who may not be able to do that. You know, they may not be used to having to cut back. And you know, if you have to eat vegetables out of a can, or you have to eat some macaroni or something, if you can even find it, because there's supposed to be a pasta shortage. There really is. If you've ever been to the store and you look around in the pasta area, you'd be lucky if you find the kind of pasta that you want. Um, um, yeah, yeah, there has got to come a time when we do come together and help each other. That's if we can get to each other, is what it is. Yeah, you got a lot going on in the skies. Well, we're talking about this inflation and everything going up, and these food banks. You know, it costs one diesel truck $1,000 right now to fill up, and that's at $5 a gallon. So if it goes up to $10 a gallon, they said you can expect the price of oil to go up to around $200 a barrel. Okay, that's what they said. So yeah, it's just literally a trickle down effect. It's like a domino, it's just like spreading all around. And yeah, all it takes is another series of events to further make that snowball escalate and get bigger. It's all it's going to take. It is. So yeah, but I know that we can only do what we can do with you know what we have. Okay, a lot of people are doing their best that they can with what they've got, and you know, you may ask yourself, is your best going to be good enough? It'll be good enough. You will survive as long as you are determined within. You'll have exactly what you need to get by, and if you don't, somebody else surely will help. Okay, surely will help your neighbors. Nobody wants to see anybody starving, okay, and doing without. They don't um, like that. Just watching my she shed greenhouse video, you're relocating and just wondering how your veggies turned out. Oh, yeah. They turned out really good. I've ate more greens throughout the winter, this winter, all winter long, tops of greens, than I have in my whole entire life. My daughter fixes so much with the greens, the green vegetables and stuff, a lot of food and stir fries. So yeah, no, I can't turn my phone sideways right now. I've already started streaming in portrait mode, and if I turn my phone sideways, it's going to tell me to please rotate your phone, and that's what I'm going to have on my phone. So yeah, no, I don't have it. I didn't start streaming like that, because if I do, this is what happens. I'm lopsided on here. I am. So yeah, 300% in decay. Electricity, oh yeah, that's right. 46% gasoline, around 50%. Yeah, that's right, you all. Um, so yeah, this is what I'm wondering. How is everybody going to be able to make it? Okay, you'll be able to make it. It's going to be very rough. People made it during the Great Depression. They made it during the Dust Bowl and all the other hard times in their life. They've made it because they never gave up. They didn't. They just, your standard of living may go way down, okay, and you may have to do without. Um, yeah, it's just a total adapting to our ever-changing world is what it is. You're going to have to adapt to your ever-changing world. Yeah, they do, American. Um, yeah. Yeah, there is a lot of prophecies about what is happening. There is a whole lot. It's not a lack of them. It's like everywhere you look, somebody has prophesied something about what is to come, and even world leaders and centers of studies have prophesied more or less or predicted what is to come about. And of course, we have the Bible and other manuscripts too. And we have people who, well, there's a lot of predictions that are spoken about. And some of them come true, they really do. Some of them, it takes a long time for them to come true. And then some of them don't come true at all. But you can look around and you can see that, hey, this is reality right now. The gas prices are rising, and the food prices are rising. And if you go to the store, you're not going to probably find exactly what you want. Okay, you may not, but that's okay. You can make do. You can. You can make do and get creative. Even if you have to eat canned goods and stuff, you can get really creative as long as you got some cookbooks or something. If the electricity went out, you might want to have some cookbooks on hand to see what you can throw together. Yeah. Yeah, a country boy will survive. The Lost Ways. I think I got that book, Rebecca, honey. I really do. I think I bought that book. It was a thick one. I bought it. I skimmed through it, and that was the end of it. That's how much I read. But I got it. I just had to find it if I ever needed it. I've got a lot of books. I've bought a lot of books throughout the years, useful books that I would have on hand. But then it really, it's good if you put into practice all those things too. It really is. Put those things into, thank you, KT. Yeah. How on earth did we get on narcotics? Did I miss something, John Phillips? Denmark, you have an epidemic. Oh, epidemic. Yeah, well, we don't want to talk about epidemics of narcotics. We don't. Okay, so we just let's get those out of here, because that's not what I'm talking about. So I hope you don't mind, but I deleted your comments about those, because yeah, that's not what I'm focusing on right now. Is focusing on the stuff that's going on in the world and how people are going to make it in the food banks. One diesel truck, it costs around $1,000, a little over it, to fill it up at $5 a gallon for diesel. And when that price rises, so could you imagine if they have to fill their truck up, that's $5,000. If it's $10 a gallon, more or less, or something like that. Yeah. I don't even know about Mother Shipton's prophecy. I don't. I don't really read a lot on the internet at all. I don't. I stay so busy around here, and I try to just focus on what I'm going to share and things like that. I really don't get around like some people do, but that's okay. It's all right, you all. It is um, the Mo. I'm going to read this. The Mo Powerts in the building from Chicago. I like that. I like that. That's very, yeah, free energy. Well, it would be nice to have free energy. It would, I guess. But then I wouldn't want a lot of free things in my life, because I do like to work for what I've got. I do. I don't want everything handed to me. I don't. Because that's too easy. That is too easy. Um, the pioneer days. Do I cook on my fireplace? I've only done that a few times. I've got a wood stove, and I can cook on top of it. If I have to do without electricity and all that, I will survive. Okay, I promise you, I will survive. I'll be on this earth as long as I'm meant to. I know how to survive off the land and make do. And just like everyone else. You feel, oh my gosh, 112, $568. That's a lot. It really is a lot, you all. Uh-huh. Well, German Shepherd, Mom, people who have not planned ahead will not survive. Well, some of them will. Some of them will. and some of them won't. It's time and chance. It's like this. Like fish are caught in a cruel net, so men are trapped by evil times that fall unexpectedly upon them. But then you have people who don't prepare for anything because they rely on other people to, they say, well, I'll just go to so and so's house. They are prepared. They prep, so they'll have plans to go to somebody else's house rather than preparing for themselves and their family. See that there is a class of people like that also. Let somebody else do all the planning while I enjoy my life. Okay, there are people like that, and they want to go to your house or somebody else's house who they know has prepared. Okay, and to those type of people who put that off, who had the means to prepare, I don't think that's right. And really, some people who do wait to the last minute for everything like that and think, I don't need to do that, nothing's going to happen, and something happens. What happens if when you want to flee, you can't flee because the roads are blocked? Okay, the roads are blocked, or if we've had an EMP, honey, you're not going nowhere if you got a new car. Your chips are already blown out. Your cell phone's not working, and if you're not in shape and if you aren't prepared to walk, you're not going to get very far because when society starts collapsing, people start losing it. Okay, they do. You'll see the true colors of people when push comes to shove. It can bring out the worst in people. Okay, some normally calm person, you let something terrible happen and it's the fight for survival, you might see that bad side of them come out because the survival mode is going to kick in. And depending on what type of personality the individual has, you better watch out, okay, because they're going to do what they can and they're going to protect themselves, and their main goal will be survival. Okay, they will. And if that means, yeah, you don't want to get in the way of people like that. It just, you could go all the way down that rabbit hole right there. You could, the ifs and ifs, but I don't want to go there. I don't. I went there years ago and I thought, no, this ain't worth it. That stressed me out even thinking about it, and it hadn't even happened. But yeah, I would prepare if you could. And some people have already prepared and they're doing the best that they can. They are. It's like the widow. Not the widow, the woman who didn't have nothing to give the prophet when he came to the house in the jar, but then she had enough and then some. That's right. I've heard of those life straws and stuff, but really, it's it's all easier said than done. Even if you have a bug out bag, it is easier said than done to do all of these things that we think we will do. It is. It's harder. Like if you don't got a bug out bag right by the door and you have to flee, or you haven't went through it and it's just been years since you went through it. Yeah. And where would you go? Where would you go? Where would you go if the roads were all shut down and stuff? And where would be a safe place? Okay, where? Yeah, it's like, I don't know. I have no idea. You want to talk about aliens? Well, I'm not talking about aliens right now. I'm not. I'm not talking about aliens right now. I really am not. But yeah, that's what I'm just wondering how people are going to make it, and especially those on limited income, and they're already feeling the brunt of the rising prices, and they go to the store and they don't even get to feel their, probably that little bitty part for the top part of their grocery cart where you would put your little child. But that's about as much groceries as some people can afford. Okay, and they have to make a choice between, do I get my medicines, or do I buy food, or do I let my electric bill or something like that go? Yeah, because it's difficult. See, right now, some insurance companies for people who are Medicare eligible and stuff like that, they're giving them a little extra, like a spending card, a health spending card or something. Every month, I think you might get maybe $35 that you can use at the grocery store, something to help you out. And yeah, so that's good. That is good, you all, that every little bit counts, okay? Every little bit counts. It does. For people say, well, that ain't nothing. Well, it's better than nothing, okay? Something is better than nothing. It is. Unless you've been in that person's shoe, you don't know what it's about. You don't know how hard it is until you've literally walked in those shoes and done without. Okay? Yeah. The food banks, I can't read all they I don't get to see all the comment. The food banks she goes to are closed and they have been getting little to no food at the grocery stores. Wow. One time, surveillance network, one time, there's this grocery store. It was like, I heard like the Walmart. They threw all this meat, all this bread and stuff, frozen goods out in the dumpster. And this housing project behind them, the like trailer parks or something, the people went over there and the food was still good. They went in there and they was getting the food out and somebody called the police on them and they were not allowed to get that food. That food was allowed to set in there and rot. Every bit of it, set in there and rot. Throw it away and rot. Bread, everything. See, that's wrong right there. Why do you want to keep people from doing that? Really, what's wrong with that? But they did. Called the police on them, and no one was able to like get that food that was otherwise good. Yeah. Um, so that's what I'm talking about. Food, rising prices, gas, and all of that kind of stuff. All of it. It's really interesting. Let me tell you what's really interesting. This is interesting. Not a single moderator has been notified that I'm on here. That's what's interesting, you all. That's okay, you all. We can do it. We can do it together. We can. That's right. We will. Well, Adrian Barker, this world is full of pure evil. Well, that's a blanket statement. That would be like saying the whole entire world is full of evil. That would be like saying even you, Gina, and even everyone else on here. And see, but it's not full of evil. It's not. There are certain, there is a certain segment, a certain amount of evil, but it's not full of evil. It's like not everyone is bad. Okay, not everyone is evil. Now, there are some bad things that happen in this world. There is a lot of bad things that I wish would never happen. And I wish the evil would be banished. I wish the hard times, well, sometimes the hard times help mold us into who we need to be and help make us stronger and help us realize, who we are. When you go through hard times, it does. It helps you determine on the inside who you are. It does. It causes you to take a deep look on the inside of here. Good can come out. Good can come out of hard times and stuff. But I don't want to wish hard times on nobody. But it can make you stronger. It can for some people. It'll break you, but hopefully, once you're broken, you can be put back together a whole lot stronger. Yeah. Thank you, German Shepherd Mom. I know, country boy, it should be, but it's not. Here's what gets me too. There are people who do get permission to get the food that the stores are getting rid of, or even the semis when they deliver food. They're able to take a part of that food and they distribute it to the food banks or something like that. They do that too, or give it to the local churches and they disperse the food to the people. They do that, but really, who knows what happens to all the food? Who knows what happens? And some food is not fit for consumption, really, and it could go bad. Yeah, that's right. Adelaida Gonzalez. Yeah, Adelaida Gonzalez. Um, you waiting for my videos? Well, I was sitting here looking at this food bank, their trucks. The rising prices take a toll on local food banks trying to feed the more in need. And every dollar rise in gas, they pay 35 extra a month. So, Yeah, they would, they'd be having to shut down. They would. And then if unless you have employees, people who volunteer to drive those trucks at the food bank, who willingly drive it. Hello, Susan Donahue. Then you have to pay their salary, and you got operational costs of these buildings that house the food and stuff. There's all kinds of things tied with it. There really is. All kinds of things. Oh, Adrienne Barker, it'll be better. Let's just tune it out and don't focus on it. You make the best of your day. No matter what's happened right now, you can turn your day around. You really can. You can turn it around and just clear your mind and focus on something that brings peace to your mind. If it means just sit there and just listen to some music, or just sit there in silence, or do something that brings peace to you, do that. Yeah, don't listen to the negativeness. Sometimes you got to take a break. Hello there, Apple Brooks, honey. Sometimes you got to take time out for you. Tune out the world. Take time out for you, so because your spirit needs rest too. It does. Your spirit needs rest. Your mind needs a rest. You can't bombard your mind all the time in your spirit, because that's a heavy load to carry. Okay, it's a very heavy load to carry, and you're not meant to carry all that heavy load. Okay, you're not. You're not meant to carry it on your own. Sometimes we take on way too much. We do. Sometimes we take on the cares of this world, and you may be somebody like that right now. You carry the weight of the world on your shoulders, and you're the type of person who thinks that you can take care of everybody and take care of the world, and you worry what's going to happen if you could only do this, if you could only do that. Well, you're only one person. Okay, you're only one person. My mother used to tell me, Gina, you cannot take care of the whole entire world. She used to tell me that all the time, because I'm a giving person. Okay, I am. But she said you cannot take care of everybody. Okay, you can't fix everybody. Okay, and I know I can't. I know I can't now. But yeah, sometimes we worry and we make ourselves sick because we worry too much. Okay, we can, there's some things that we have control over, and there's some things that we don't have any control over. I mean, you can pray for people, you can help them, but when you overextend yourself and you're wearing yourself out in the process and you're getting ran down, that's time to be slamming on the brakes and taking time out. Say, well, hey, I can't, I'm no good to myself now, and I'm wore out, and how can I be any good to somebody else when I'm literally wore out? You got to let your body, please let your body rest, okay? Let your spirit rest. It's okay. You can take a little time out for you, okay? You can do that. Don't carry the cares of the world on your shoulder, okay? Don't. You're going to get burdened down, okay? It's going to really wear you down. You just, yeah, don't try to do that, please. Please don't do that. Okay. We all of us together, we can only do what we can do, and you can't help everybody either. You can't. Some people you can't help. I'm just going to tell you right now. Some people, if you are wearing yourself out to help somebody, and it seems like you're giving and you're giving and you're giving, and these people, it's not helping them because they want more and more and more of you. You're only one person. You're only one person. That's it. Just one. Okay, sometimes you got to say no. Okay, and sometimes you got to take a break. Okay, it's okay. You can take a break. You can say no. I promise you, you can say no. You can, and you can take a break. You can set a healthy boundary. Okay, and then take time out, and then go back to doing everything in moderation. You got to please don't wear yourself out. Okay, and don't try to be everything to everybody, because you're only one person. Okay, it's okay. It really is. Bad kitty, honey, you take a break. I take breaks too. I do. Sometimes I do, because there's some. I know when I'm reaching overload, I'm thinking I can't no more. I just got to step back, and I just got to take time for me, because I'm not going to do you no good if I'm literally wore myself out. I'm not going to do you all any good. I'm not even going to feel like coming on here and doing anything, because I won't even be in the frame of mind to even have peace within. You got to have some balance in your life. You really do. Um, yeah, take a nap. That's right. Go forth and nap. That's wonderful. You can do that. You can. So yeah, I was just wondering how people are going to make it. And the food banks, you know, they're already, if you read the comments on here, people are already having a hard time. The food banks are. And there's a lot of people on here who've had to go to the food banks, okay, and you've probably had to live in a shelter too. I know people who have, okay, and it's okay, it is. I remember when I lived in Nevada, going to the woman's shelter and the food bank there and working there, and it was an experience. And also where I'm at here with the homeless people, it's a whole new world. But then they're just like me and you. They just want to live their life. They do. They just want to live their life. They want to just have a normal life, and they're making the best of their situation. They are. It's all right, you all. It is. Yeah, that's right. Oh my goodness. Greetings to you all too. So I am going to get off of here and yeah, do what you all can do, okay? And don't stress out, okay? Don't stress out and don't worry whether or not what you have will it be enough if you can't afford to go out and get a little bit more. Don't worry about it. Just do what you can do, and that you're good to be whatever you got will be good enough. Okay, it will. Um, yeah, we can be there for one another. We can. Thank you, Applebrook. Thank you all for coming on here. And please take time out for yourself, especially if you're a giver and if you worry a lot about what's going on in the world. If it's wearing you down, your spirit and your body's telling you, please, what about me? What about me? Okay, take time. And with that being said, hello wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello from my heart to yours. Love you. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and thank you so much for coming on here. Thank you, Apple Brooks.